What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. If you recently picked up one of the new Galaxy S25 series of phones, then congratulations on your brand new purchase, and you came to the right video because today we're going to talk about 25 things that you need to do on your brand new Galaxy S25 as soon as you get it. These are all the same things that I do on my phones when I get them, and I highly suggest you go through this list and apply these to your phone as well because it's going to make your experience much better. Now let's get right into it with the very first thing, and that is to go into your phone settings and then create or log in to your Samsung account. So if you tap over here, you'll see that the Samsung account gives you access to some very important features like the cloud, Galaxy AI, the Samsung Pass, the Find My feature, and a lot of other really important things. So if you don't have a Samsung account, definitely go ahead and create one because it's going to make your Samsung experience much better. Now, once you do that, we're going to go back into our settings and we're going to tap over here where it says Galaxy AI. Now, it's going to show you all of the AI features that are available for this phone. Obviously, AI is a huge buzzword that keeps going around. Everything these days is AI. And the Galaxy phone definitely does come with a lot of AI features. So I'm not going to take you through this list one by one because there is a lot. But if you do want to learn about all the AI features on this phone, I highly suggest you go through here. You can tap into here and kind of read about what it does and enable it if you want it. But definitely take your time to go through here and learn about all of the AI features. All right, guys, the next thing we're gonna do is make our phone faster. And to do that, we're gonna go into our phone settings, scroll all the way down to the bottom, tap on About Phone, and right there, we're gonna tap Software Information. And where you see the build number right here, just go ahead and keep tapping on this until you get a prompt for your PIN or password and then enter it. And now what's going to happen is you're going to allow developer mode to be enabled. And now when we go back to our main settings page, even more down at the bottom right here, you'll see a new option that says developer options. And we're going to tap into here and then we're going to scroll down until we see something called animator duration scale. And there it is right there. So you can see we have three options here. We have window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animator duration scale. And these are all set to 1x, but we're going to tap into here and set them all to 0.5x. And what this is going to do is actually speed up the animations on your phone. So anytime you're navigating around or closing or opening apps, all of these animations are actually going to be a little bit quicker, and that makes your phone feel faster. Now, personally, I am not a fan of this button navigation down here that comes default on your phone. I just think it's a little bit uncomfortable having to reach your thumb all the way down to go back. Whereas with swipe navigation, you can just swipe from wherever on the screen to go back. And it's just a lot more intuitive, and I like it much more. So what we're going to do is actually switch out these buttons for that swipe navigation. So we're going to go into our settings and then we're going to go to display. And in here, just swipe down until you see navigation bar right there. And now you can switch it to swipe gesture. So again, this is preference, but I just like swipe gestures much more. Again, I don't have to reach all the way down here to just swipe. You can see I can go back from either side of the phone and I can swipe from the middle. You can of course also go home by just swiping from the bottom, and if you want to see your recent apps, just swipe up and hold, and you can see you'll have all of your background apps right there. Now, one of the most important things that you can do with a phone is to protect it. You paid a lot of money for this, and the last thing you want to do is drop it and scratch it. But lucky for you, today's sponsor, Banks, has you covered. I have personally been using Banks cases for a couple of years now because they have everything that I look for in a case. They look good and are sleek and lightweight, and there's nothing that I hate more than having a bulky phone in my pocket. So having a slim case like this really helped these already huge phones stay as slim as possible. And even though it is lightweight, it still offers great protection, especially around the lenses with this raised bumper. And most importantly, they are MagSafe compatible. So if you have a wireless charger or accessories like a wallet, or if you have a wireless charging magnetic stand, you can go ahead and use all of these products with these cases thanks to those magnets. Now, Banks was kind enough to give us a 15% discount. So if you want to pick one up, I'll leave you guys all of the links in the description below. Now, if you're somebody who really cares about the battery life of your phone and you really want as much battery as possible, there's really only one setting that you need to change to get much better battery out of your phone. And that is to go into your phone settings, go to display, and then all you gotta do is just change it to dark mode, and that's going to make your phone last much longer because these are OLED displays, and anything that is black, those pixels are actually completely off and they're not using any battery to power your display. Whereas if you have it in light mode, you can see your whole entire screen illuminates, and that's obviously going to use much more battery. So enabling dark mode, I think, not only looks better, but is much better on the battery. So if you're gonna do one thing for your battery, make it this. Now, once you've done that, the next thing we're gonna do is create a custom wallpaper. And we're gonna do this using AI. And it's really amazing because you can create endless amounts of wallpapers and they're going to be unique because nobody can find them online because you literally generate them on the phone. And to do that, just tap and hold on your home screen right there, tap on wallpaper and style, and we're gonna hit change wallpaper, and we're gonna create with AI. And then up here, it says home and lock screen. We're going to tap on that, and then you can see that we're going to generate some AI wallpapers. Now we do have a few examples in here already, so this one looks kind of nice. We can tap on this, or we can just go down here and create something new. So let's say maybe we want to create something from this mineral section right here. And you can see what it's going to do is give you a couple options here that you can actually click on and change. So it says a close-up image of galena with cool hues, and we can actually change this to all of these other options in here. So let's say maybe we like opal, and then we can change cool to maybe something vibrant. And now all we got to do is just hit generate, and there you go. In a matter of seconds, you can see it creates all of these beautiful wallpapers that you can apply to your home screen and lock screen. So let's say maybe we want to use this one. We'll just hit set. We want to do lock screen and home screen, hit next, and then just tap done, and it's going to apply it to our phone, and you can see it right there on our home screen and of course our lock screen, and it looks absolutely amazing. And you can create endless amounts of these and it'll look beautiful. Now if you're somebody who likes the legacy power options menu when you long press your power button, so you can see if we press it right now, instead of getting our power off or restart menu, we get Google Gemini. If you want to change that, what you can do is go into your phone settings, go down to advanced features, and then go to side button, go to long press, and then change this to power off menu. And now when we long press that button, we're going to get that power off menu so we can power off or restart our phone. Next, what we're going to do is allow for more real estate on our screen. So right now we have a grid of 4x6, so we can have 4 icons this way and 6 icons this way. But if you want to allow more icons on your screen or for more room for widgets, what you can do is long press on your home screen, go to settings, and then right there you'll see home screen grid. We can tap on that and we can change it to 5x6, and you can see we get that one extra icon right there that we can fit. So we can hit done, and then we can bring in something else from our phone over here. So if you have another app that you'd like to keep on your home screen so you don't need to swipe to look for it, you can go ahead and drag it into here. The next thing we need to do is to make sure that our phone doesn't show any of our sensitive notifications on your lock screen. Right now, if you get a message with an authentication code or some kind of password, it will show up on your lock screen and anybody can just swipe on that notification to see the details of it. But to change that, we can go into our settings, go to notifications, go to lock screen notifications, and right here, change it to hide contents. And now anytime you get a notification, all you're gonna see on your lock screen is that there is a notification, but you won't actually be able to expand it to see the details of that notification. Next, what we're gonna do is go back into our settings, scroll down to where it says device care right there, tap on battery, and right there you'll see an option that says battery protection. We're gonna go into here and enable this. Now by default it's set to basic, and you see it says when your battery is charged to 100%, charging will stop until the battery level drops to 95 before it starts charging again. So this is good to protect your battery because instead of constantly jumping between 99 and 100%, it will let your battery drop a little bit before charging it back up to 100. Now we also have adaptive and maximum, and what maximum is going to do is limit your maximum charge capacity to 80%. Now this is really good if you're going to keep your phone for 5, 6, 7 years. This will really help your battery stay healthy as long as possible because it won't let it charge past 80%. And lithium ion batteries don't like to be in both extremes of over 80% or under 20%. So just not letting it charge all the time to 100 is going to be good for you. But I suggest that you guys go ahead and enable adaptive because this is kind of the best of both worlds. You can see it'll stop charging to 80% while you're asleep, and then right before you wake up, it's going to charge your phone to 100. Now your phone does need to learn your usage habits, so you do need to use your phone for a couple of weeks, and it will just learn your habits. So if it knows that you usually wake up at like 7 a.m., it will keep your phone at 80% throughout the night, and then just right before you wake up, it'll shoot it up to 100. So this is best for people who have a consistent sleep schedule. So if that sounds like you, go ahead and enable adaptive battery for the best results. But then just go back to your device care settings and then go to auto optimization, tap auto restart, and enable restart when needed. And what this is just going to do is restart your phone whenever your phone thinks that it's needed. So if it feels like any applications are bogging down or just something isn't acting right, it will give it a reboot at night when you're not using your phone to make sure that things are running smoothly. Your phone is like a computer, and just like a computer, every now and then it needs a reboot for things to just start working properly again. So if your phone senses that something is off, it'll just do a reboot on its own when you're sleeping, not to disturb you, and make sure that everything is running optimally. The next thing we're gonna do is enable our always on display. So by default, if you lock your phone, you can see your always on display is off, but you need to tap on it to see it. but I don't really like that. I like my always on display to always be on, and I also don't like this wallpaper showing on my always on display. I like to just have the clock, my notifications, and the time and date, my battery, and my fingerprint on here. So if you want to change that, what we need to do is go into our phone settings, go to lock screen and always on display, select always on display, and right there we can disable that wallpaper. This is going to help save your battery life. And then we're also going to go to when to show, and I'm going to set it to always. Now you can go ahead and pick whatever you like. Again, I like it to always be on, and I don't like that wallpaper. So now that we made those changes, if I go to my always on display, you can see now it's going to show us our time, date, and any notifications that we have, along with our battery percentage up here, but we will not see that wallpaper. Now for this next setting, we're going to change something on our lock screen. So you can see on our lock screen, we have these two shortcuts right here. This is to bring up your dialer, and this is to bring up your camera. So if we swipe on this, you can see it enables our camera. But the thing is, most Android phones have this functionality where you can double tap your power button to bring up that camera. And yes, this will work from your always on display and your lock screen. So this button is kind of redundant. We can change that to something more useful. And to do that, we can just go to our lock screen, tap and hold on it, and then authenticate ourselves into the phone. But we're gonna go ahead and tap on this button, and you can see we have a few other options in here. So we can enable our flashlight, put it into airplane mode, enable power sharing, or we can even put a specific app onto here. So if we want to maybe launch Instagram or YouTube directly from our lock screen, we can do that. I typically like to have flashlight in there because I find that I use this pretty much daily when I'm walking around the house at night and I just don't want to turn on the light. I can quickly turn on the flashlight and see what I'm doing. So we're gonna hit done. And now you can see the flashlight is right there. And if we swipe on it, you can see the flash gets enabled. And then of course, again, just swipe on it to disable it. So go ahead and add whatever button you want on there or whatever application of your choosing. The next thing we're gonna do is make sure that we can find our phone in case we ever lose it. So we're gonna go into settings and then scroll down to security and privacy. And you can see right there, we have an option, lost device protection. We're gonna go into here, tap find my mobile, and make sure that allow this phone to be found is enabled. But we're also going to enable send last location and offline finding. Now this is really important because if somebody steals your phone and they turn it off or they enable airplane mode, you will still be able to find it even though it's offline. And now if you ever lose your phone somewhere in your house or somebody does manage to steal it, you can go to smartthingsfind.samsung.com. And from there, you'll be able to remotely manage your phone. You can track it by GPS, you can ring it, you can lock it. And if you know your phone is gone for good, you can even remotely wipe everything off of that so that if somebody does manage to get into your phone, they will not be able to steal your data. So definitely a really important feature that you should enable. Now, one of my favorite features on the Galaxy phone is the ability to create routines. I absolutely love this. So if you go into your settings and then go to modes and routines, and then tap on routines right there, you can see you can create routines from here. Now I'm going to show you one really awesome routine that I always use. So we're going to hit the plus icon to create our first routine. In this if section, we're going to go here, and then in the search bar, we're going to look for Wi-Fi. We're going to hit Wi-Fi network, make sure it's set to connected, and then just add your Wi-Fi in here. So you can see I'm already connected to my Wi-Fi. Then we're going to hit done. We're going to go to the then section, and in this search bar, we're going to search for unlock. And right there it says keep your phone unlocked. We're going to hit OK. We're going to hit save. We're going to authenticate. Now you can give it a name. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it alone. You can also change the colors and icons. I'm just going to hit done. And there you go. You can see we created our first routine. And now what's going to happen is every time our phone connects to our home Wi-Fi, our phone will actually stay unlocked. So we will not need to authenticate with our fingerprint or PIN or pattern or face recognition or anything to unlock our phone. It will just stay unlocked because we're home in a safe place, I hope, and you do not need to keep your phone locked. And it's just going to make accessing your phone much quicker. So you can see if I lock my phone right now and then I unlock it, you can see it says extended unlock right there. There's no lock icon, meaning it's unlocked, and I can just swipe up to access my phone. It stays unlocked while I'm at home. I absolutely love routines on here. There's so much cool stuff you can do. And if you guys want me to make a separate video about some of my favorite routines, I do have some really cool ones. Just let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to make one for you guys. Next, what we're gonna do is make our display sharper and better on our Galaxy phone. So we have a QHD 1440p display on here, but by default, it's set to 1080p, which I don't really like because that's not the best viewing experience. So if you go to display and then you scroll down to screen resolution, you can see this is set to full HD 1080p, but we can go all the way up to QHD plus 1440p. And this is a much sharper looking display. There's going to be much more pixels on your display, so you're gonna get the best viewing experience. So definitely go ahead and enable this. And now that our display is looking good, we're gonna improve the video experience on our phone. So we're gonna go back into our settings and we're gonna look for advanced features. And right there, you'll see video brightness. It's set to normal, but we're gonna change this to bright, and then you'll get a list of applications that are compatible with this setting. So if you have Netflix in here, Amazon Video, or any other streaming services, you can enable these. And what it's going to do is when you open any of these applications in here that are toggled on, your video brightness will increase to give you a brighter and more vibrant viewing experience. So if you like consuming media, you like watching movies, this is definitely a great feature. And what's cool about this is as soon as you exit any of these applications, it will go back to normal so that you can save on battery life. So definitely go ahead and enable this. And now with good video, we of course want good audio. So let's improve the audio on this phone as well. We're gonna go back into our settings. We're gonna look for sounds and vibrations, and then we're gonna go to sound quality and effects, and we're gonna make sure that Dolby Atmos is enabled, and this is going to give us the best audio quality out of the speakers of this phone. You can also tap into here and you can see we have a few different options between auto, movie, music, and voice. So depending on what it is that you're doing on your phone, you can go ahead and toggle between any of these settings. But I like to keep it on auto and just let the phone make that decision for me. But absolutely go ahead and enable Dolby Atmos because it's definitely going to improve the quality of the sound coming out of your phone. Now, staying on the topic of making things better on our phone, we're now going to improve the cameras, because when you go into your camera, there's a few settings you should change because by default, they are not set to the best settings. So if we go into our photo tab, you can see up here it says 12 megapixels, but if we tap onto here, we actually have a choice between 50 megapixels and 200 megapixels. Now keep in mind that 12 megapixels is generally enough if you're just taking photos for your phone or for social media, but if you're going to be cropping in or maybe printing those pictures and blowing them up, you're going to want to select 50 or even 200 megapixels because it's going to give you a lot more data in those pictures to work with, so that if you do blow them up and make them larger, it's going to look much better. Next, the same thing with video. We're going to tap right there and you can see by default it's set to Full HD 30. Now Full HD is only 1080p, but our phone can shoot 4K and even 8K, which is absolutely amazing. Now again, 8K is huge. It's going to take up a lot of space on your phone, and typically you don't really need 8K. It's really hard for the eye to actually recognize 8K. So I would just suggest you go to UHD, which is 4K, and you can select between 30 or 60 FPS. If you're going to be slowing your footage down, then you want to do with 60. But if you are just going to shoot 4K video, you don't want to slow it down, keep it at 4K 30 FPS. The next thing we're going to improve is the security of our phone. So if we go to our phone settings and then go down to security and privacy, there's an option in here called app security, and we can actually enable this by tapping app protection, and we can turn this on. And essentially what this is a built-in antivirus that will occasionally scan your phone for any bad applications or malware or suspicious activity on your phone. Now you can do this manually. You can just hit scan and it's going to go through all of your applications and just scan that's everything on your phone to make sure that there's nothing fishy going on. Now this might not be available for everybody. This is, I believe, region specific. So depending on which carrier you're with or what country you're in, you might not have app protection. But if you do see it in here, definitely go ahead and enable it. The next thing we're going to improve is the call quality of our phone. And the way to do that is when you get a phone call on your phone, you can swipe down until you see mic mode, tap into here and change it from standard to voice focus. And what this is going to do is focus on your voice and remove any background noise that could be happening around you. So maybe there's construction going on or you're at the beach and there's a lot of waves crashing. It will isolate your voice, bring down those other volumes, and make it much easier for anyone that you're on the phone with to hear your voice. Now, if you're somebody who uses a screen protector on your phone, you're going to want to enable this next feature because sometimes that layer of that screen protector can make it a little bit harder for your phone to register your taps. So if you're a light tapper, it might not always catch it. So what you can do is go to your settings, go to display, and then scroll down to the bottom where you see touch sensitivity and just enable it. And it says right there, increases the touch sensitivity of the screen for use with screen protector. So again, if you're a light tapper and you're using a screen protector, sometimes your phone might not register your taps and that can be a little bit annoying. So go ahead and enable this and it should solve any of those problems. The next thing I always change on my phone is this app drawer. So by default, it's organized by, I believe, whichever app you installed last. So if you install anything, it'll go over here. But I like to have this organized alphabetically because it makes it much easier to find what you're looking for. So you can tap on this three dots here, go to sort, and then change it from custom order to alphabetical order. And you can see everything kind of gets organized alphabetically. And again, that just makes everything much easier to find. All right, now the last thing that I always do on my phone is add my information to my lock screen. So if you go into your settings and then go to lock screen and always on display and then tap contact information, you can add an alternative phone number or an email in here so that if somebody ever finds your phone, if you misplace it, they will be able to see there's contact information on your lock screen, and hopefully they will be nice enough to return the phone to you. But in order to return the phone to you, they need to know how to reach you. So you can put maybe an email here or a phone number, and then when you hit done, you can see if we go to our lock screen, our information will show right here at the bottom on our lock screen. So again, if anybody ever finds our phone, they'll know how to reach out to us to return it to us. But there you go, guys. That's going to do it for this video for everything that you need to do on your brand new Galaxy S25 phones. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.